On today's episode of Keeping It Real, Cam Marston tells us he's excited for the number of people who have taken the future into their own hands as a result of COVID, but he just wants a pizza.
The COVID pandemic set off a crisis that is unfolding in ways I think none of us could have predicted. The crisis tendrils that have caught my attention most recently is what many are calling the Great Resignation. People are taking the risks of going without employment to find a better life somehow, somewhere. Many of these people, as you likely know, are service sector employees. They're tired of the long hours and the low pay and feeling like they're at the bottom of the totem pole. There's got to be something better out there, they're saying. Nothing generates more self-reflection and creates more self-awareness than being quiet and being alone. Every major religion that I'm aware of encourages people to pray in silence. And some of the religions even define prayer as simply being quiet and being still and letting go of thoughts. Prayer can certainly be vocal and in groups, but each religion encourages a meditative state of prayer too. When the pandemic finally settled in, there was a frenzy when we all went into lockdown. And when the news stopped being able to give us new information, we turned it off and it got quiet. Shortly after that, the questions started. What do I want for myself today? What do I want for my future? What do I like about my life and what would I change? If there were ever a time to hit Control-Alt-Delete, that time's now. So what do I want to do? And what I think we're seeing when we can't get any of this sensational food at Cortland's Pizza in Mobile on a Saturday night because they're now closed on Saturday nights is that a lot of people said, I don't know what I want, but I know I don't want to do this anymore. The Atlantic magazine reports that entrepreneurship since the pandemic began has surged, most of it in internet-based businesses. People are taking their future into their own hands. Their life had been dominated by long and unhappy hours in the restaurant, office politics and commutes, or monotony in the warehouse. I'm of the belief that self-empowerment is always a good thing. But I also want my tree hugger pizza from Cortland's. Good ideas always generate institutions that support and ultimately profit from those ideas. For example, I was unaware of how big the institutions supporting Bitcoin and blockchain have become. A currency unencumbered by geopolitical borders is a good idea, and institutions are forming to profit from it. Something is being born today out of the tendrils of the pandemic that in time will be huge. And we'll wonder why it took so long and why we didn't think of it. And business schools will teach case studies about it. We'll smack our foreheads and say, duh. It'll be pretty cool. However, right now, it doesn't solve my problem of wanting a tree hugger pizza from Cortland Saturday night. I'm Cam Marston, and I'm just trying to keep it real.
To hear more commentaries, search for Keeping It Real with Cam Marston on your favorite podcast app or follow Cam Marston on social media.